If you think big, then you know that South Africa is one of the biggest players on the African continent. Speaking of big, we've decided to talk about an enormous project. We're talking about the much-publicized Waterfall City project. Waterfall City is a mixed-use megadevelopment project located halfway between Johannesburg and Pretoria. It is a master-planned, holistically conceived urban enclave created totally from scratch on a 2,200 hectares of unoccupied land. This massive city-building project in Waterfall City blends a hyper-modernist emphasis on smart growth, cutting-edge technologies, and cutting-edge infrastructure with a new urbanist emphasis on mixed-use facilities, a human-scale built environment, and pedestrian-friendly districts. Waterfall City's real estate developers have effectively replaced public authority with private management and control by handling all of the traditional tasks of a municipal administration. Waterfall City is an outstanding embodiment of a privately run municipality that comes within the broad history of company towns, treaty concessions, free ports, and independent city-states, with its private governance structures and go-it-alone ethos. Aside from its vast size and administrative autonomy, Waterfall City stands out for its unique blend of strict religious compliance based on a traditional understanding of Islamic principles with a forward-thinking devotion to private entrepreneurship and consumerist consumerism. Waterfall City is a sprawling, mixed-use real estate development that brings together commercial activities, high-end residential components, and leisurely lifestyle amenities in a single location in the heart of Africa's fastest-growing metropolitan region, roughly halfway between Johannesburg Central City and Pretoria. Waterfall City, along with other megaprojects in the area, provides a whole new direction for city development in metropolitan Africa. This self-contained satellite city symbolizes a new paradigm for city building in the greater Johannesburg metropolitan region that emerged after apartheid ended. It has been dubbed the greatest property development in South African history and the real estate coup of the century. The enormity of this megaproject, which spans a wide 2,200 hectares of land, nearly the size of the neighboring Bryanston, is close to unimaginable, as one property developer stated. Touted as the new Sandton, which is, of course, Africa's financial capital. In-depth interviews with key informants, including property developers, real estate businesses, technical experts, and municipal planning authorities, were conducted in addition to multiple on-site visits to Waterfall City during a 5-year period. The study for this publication builds on and expands on earlier studies. The projected Waterfall City mixed-use complex has the potential to become the region's major business and residential growth point. This large-scale property development, with an estimated total cost of about $5.8 billion, is the most ambitious city-building project ever undertaken in Africa, let alone South Africa. Waterfall City's real estate developers have promised that their experiment with new urbanism will eventually achieve the ultimate cosmopolitan urbanist goal of the 21st century, to become a post-industrial, hyper-modern, high-tech city bustling with service industries and filled with skilled knowledge workers who can live, work, and play within a self-enclosed, safe, and secure environment. Above all, Waterfall City is a model for a master-planned, holistically conceived, and privately administered city. The colossal experiments with fast-track, instant urbanism and the wholesale celebration of architectural spectacle, commercialism, and private entrepreneurialism began with Dubai and quickly spread from the Persian Gulf to the Asia-Pacific Rim, India, China, and beyond, inspiring this unconventional tabula rasa approach to city building. However, the roots of this method can be found in a long heritage of utopian thinking that has been linked to envisioning the planned metropolis of the future. In both theory and practice, city planning has always been dominated by large, Arcadian, and idealistic visions of how to effectively apply the instruments of architecture, design, engineering, and planning to better urban living. Leading figures in the urban planning canon, such as Ebenezer Howard, Frank Lloyd Wright, and Corbusier, vehemently opposed the gradualist idea of incremental improvements to existing cities' built environments. Waterfall City parallels old-style modernist planning initiatives like the gigantic Soviet urban experiments of the 1930s or the development of Brasil in the 1950s, at least in terms of its massive scale and tabula rasa approach to city design. What makes Waterfall City unique is that it has nothing in common with the conventional understanding of an organic metropolis, in which city building is typically an awkward, incremental process that unfolds haphazardly over time, where new buildings are laid over or replaced with old ones using the modernist principles of erasure. Instead, city development at Waterfall follows the principles of what could be described as a temporally compressed instant city, built from the ground up without the burden or even communal effort. Starting from scratch has the distinct advantage of allowing city builders to conveniently avoid the messy problems associated with retrofitting existing built environments, competing with deeply entrenched vested interests, and negotiating with municipal planning authorities, as a historically specific species of master-planned urbanism. Waterfall City, with its new town center and residential neighborhoods unburdened by history and its developers unconstrained by existing zoning codes, outdated land use planning regulations, historic preservation battles, or community activism, is an unusually pure, unfiltered exemplar of what brand new cities look like in the current age of globalization, with its new town center and residential neighborhoods unburdened by history and its developers unconstrained by existing zoning codes, outdated land use planning regulations, historic preservation battles, or community. Waterfall City exemplifies a unique type of privatized urbanism, as it is built on privately owned land, managed by a single corporate enterprise, and financed by a group of large-scale real estate developers. It is the epitome of a corporate city. Rather than promoting a traditional laissez-faire approach to real estate investment, the real estate developers who created this satellite city practice a form of planned and highly regulated real estate capitalism in which necessary goods and services are packaged as commodities and bought and sold in non-competitive markets. The landed property at the entire site is owned by the Waterfall Islamic Institute Trust, a private company owned by the descendants of commercial merchant Musa Ismail Maya, a single business entity. The Waterfall Investment Company is the sole owner of the real estate project and has created a dozen or more private, profit-making subsidiaries that specialize in a monopoly supply of required services. Furthermore, other companies are not permitted to have offices on the grounds or compete with the Waterfall Investment Company's subsidiaries in the marketplace. In addition to these entrepreneurial methods, the Waterfall Investment Company has developed tight restrictions limiting what businesses and private homeowners can build and under what conditions on their lands. Waterfall City is a spatial representation of the sorts of extraterritoriality that have accompanied the blossoming of contemporary global urbanism, operating outside the reach of public supervision. This new satellite city, which sprang from legal loopholes that provide immunity from municipal control, is a self-governing island that resembles the autonomous city-states and autarkic free ports of the past. Waterfall City is a highly specialized assemblage of land, authority, rights, and entitlements that has effectively developed its own modes of governance outside of the traditional institutional framework of public administration. In this case, deterritorialization has created an institutional vacuum, allowing Waterfall City real estate developers to easily decouple from the existing normative order of the public city and construct their own privatized, centralized control regimes. The planned construction of Waterfall City demonstrates how extraterritorial power can create and legitimize a new type of enclave urbanism that has little in common with traditional city-building processes. The traditional balance between public power and municipal governance on one hand, and corporate real estate interests and private proprietorship on the other, has been profoundly recast by this radical urbanism process. Waterfall City has effectively decoupled sovereignty from territoriality, resulting in a self-governing extraterritorial enclave. Waterfall City functions as a form of concessionary space that undermines legal spatiality, or the assumption that the law and legal remedies are inextricably related to territorial sovereignty, by establishing its own rules and regulations governing the usage of urban space. Waterfall City is just minutes from Sandton and Pretoria, as well as the Johannesburg Central Business District. This master-planned satellite city, designed as a city within a city, is well-positioned to transform the enormous suburban catchment area that surrounds it into a significant commercial development hub while also creating a new central business district for Midrand. Waterfall City promises to become a bustling hub of efficient global commerce, a center for business and finance, an exemplar of upscale residential living, and a safe and secure retirement community, thanks to its synergistic mixed-use development framework and incorporation of the latest urban design principles. What do you think of the Waterfall City project? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Thanks for watching, and see you in another one.